Okay, let's have another 5-minute game. So I'm just above 2200 at the moment. King's Engine again. Let's try it with c5, try and get a dark square campaign going. You could try and clamp down with a4. Oh, okay, Benko Gambit time. Or the idea of the Benko Gambit anyway. Bit of pressure, bit of initiative on the B file diagonal. So knight d7, queen b8, that sort of stuff. Well, queen a8, rook b8. Protects the rook on d5 as well. So rook b8. I'll let him have the. Well, I can't do anything about it anyway. I'll let him have the dark square bishop. His dark squares are a bit weak anyway. Yeah. Weakened dark squares. So rook b4 or knight e5. There's f4 e5 to consider. I think it doesn't matter about that actually, because knight c4 maybe. I just think he's weakening some squares if he does that. Maybe queen a7, a bit naughty on his king. He moves his king, maybe knight h5. If he plays f4, then knight g4. It's all a bit tactical. So c4 he's allowing as a sort of threat. Oh, rook b4 to d4 here would be useful. Knight f3 is a check to consider. That's check all checks. There's c4 check. Doesn't really do anything. Rook d4 looks interesting, but I'm misplacing a rook, aren't I? Rook d4, his queen moves and the rook's just misplaced. Surely. There's also knight b5 coming out, so I'll get us back. Sort of created weaknesses. a3 is on anyway now, so c4 check now. There's queen f2. Okay, rook b4 again. There's knight b5. There's rook b5 for rook a1. So knight b5 is not on. Rook b5. So back there, knight d4 is okay. Now it's less exploitable. I think c4 check might be good. For rook takes b3. c4 check, queen f2. Take the queen off or just cb or rook b3. I think. Does he end up with an advantage past the a pawn? That's the thing here. I get one of the pawns back. There's always like, maybe there's b2 and stuff to decoy his rook away from the a pawn. Okay, so I'm going to take my queen. Actually, queen d3 might be worth considering. There's also a pin. If he plays knight b5, there's rook b5 at the end of this. Not here. Okay, so the knight is going to move soon. Knight b4. Has he got just a big past a pawn? There's knight c4 trying to stop immediately a5. So he's on the rook. There's b2 here, queen a7, there's check. b2 might be useful. Then rook b... oh, I don't know actually. Is b2 useful? What about rook b6? Knight c6? Or b2? That's queen c7, knight a6, queen c3. Not sure that's any use. Rook a5. His passed pawns are looking menacing. I guess I should take then for rook a5, try and get a blockade. So knight c4, or am I officially in trouble yet? Knight d7 to c5 maybe. There's knight c4 or knight d3. If rook b2, knight d3. Well, there's sort of blockading implications here. I can play e6 as well. d6 is protected at the moment. So a4 is out of reach at the moment. Can I get the king in? If I play takes, get the king in on the dark squares. If he takes with the knight, rook c6. Is the check useful? King e2 does knight c1 check. I could throw it in as a test. A blunder test. Knight c1, is that useful anyway? No. Okay, so looking forward to rook a5. Well, f5, okay. He does that. It's going to strip away counterplay. So this passed pawn is, what about knight b7, just trying to hold on here. Trying to attack his passed pawn to defend d6 at the same time. Okay, so knight a5, is that out of the question? Can my king guard against this d pawn? So knight a5, knight a5. He's also got knight d6, rook d6, rook a5. So I'm going to lose my d pawn. King to the rescue. Right, so it's getting a bit short of time. I can get this d pawn. Was it better to hold on a sec? Just wait with the king there for a moment, because otherwise king f4. So knight d6, or f4 and knight g3, or just knight e3. Just get the pawn with. I don't want the king being that much of a nuisance. Mind you, I think I've got to. Okay, stop the king coming into g4 for the moment. This pawn's going to be winning another pawn. Oh dear. King f6, d6. Can't let that pawn run away too quick. So I'm 2 pawns down for nothing. Oh dear. Oh, it wasn't the best game. 33 seconds. I think that's a signal for a draw. Oh, maybe not. He's trying to win with the 3 pawns. I suppose that's fair enough. You can't lose. I've run out of mating material. Oh dear, these pawns are going to overrun me. Oh dear. 10 seconds. Do I make it here? Not getting many blockades here. Try and be annoying. Oh dear. h7. What about knight g6? Whoops. Alright, didn't have enough time then. That was that's what can happen. Oh dear, that was silly tactics. I think the last thing I need is the queen's off. So maybe this was just totally flawed for getting the queens off this c4. Probably kingside play and dark square play, something like knight h5, maybe even h6, g5 and knight f4, just to get a knight to f4 here, because he has weakened his dark squares. And if there's knight b5, there's rook b5 sometimes. No, not here. He's got knight b5 on the cards. Actually, he's defended a2. So that was pretty nifty. Actually, knight b5 is actually on the cards, making this a big problem. Comments or questions on YouTube? Thanks so much.